Hello students and welcome back to the course. Today we're going to be talking about affirmations as spells and the difference between affirmations, incantations, and chants. So when you cast a spell, you can say affirmations aloud if you like, or you can write them on slips of paper and put them in mojo or medicine pouches to use as talismans or amulets. Some people like to carve words into candles and then burn the candles during a spell. Another popular way to use affirmations is to write them on a vision board or place them in a board where you'll see it often. Each time you read the words, you will be reminded of your objective. Once you understand the basics of creating affirmations, you will probably find lots of original ways to include them in your spells and rituals. Now, what are incantations? Well, incantations want to kick an affirmation up a notch. The sign is as an incantation. Incantations are written as rhymes. The catchy phrasing and rhythm make the incantation easy to remember. The rhythm also adds power to your statement by drawing upon nature's rhythmic patterns. For example, waves breaking on the shore or the beat of your heart. Don't worry about the literary quality of your incantations. You're just getting started. Just follow the same guidelines for creating affirmations that make your statements rhyme. Incantations can be as short as 2 lines or as long as your imagination and intention dictate. You can use an incantation in the same way you'll use any other affirmation. Although it's perfectly okay to merely write an incantation, more often they're spoken aloud. Because incantations feature both rhyme and meter, you might enjoy putting them to music and singing them. Here's an example of an incantation to attract love from my book, Nice Spells and Naughty Spells. As the day fades into night, adore a love that's good and right. As the night turns into day, we're blessed in every way. Okay, so it's not going to win any awards for literary value, but it gets a message across, that's what counts. You'll find more incantations on the part 2 of this course. Creating incantations is fun. Use your imagination to design your own. The more energy you infuse into your creation, the more effective it will be. If you do a spell work with other people, singing an incantation together raises the energy exponentially. Wiccans and witches often sing incantations as celebrations. Chanting a love incantation while dancing around a maypole or Beltane, for instance, is a joyful and powerful form of magic. Now, what about chants? When you think of chanting, your mind may produce an image of a Buddhist monk uttering the Sanskrit phrase Om Mani Padme Hum, or medieval monks intoning Gregorian chants in European cathedrals. Chants are typically phrases, words, or syllables repeated aloud for a particular purpose. Saying a rosary is a form of chanting, for example. Witches sometimes chant rhymes in the rituals to raise energy and to unify all the participants. Some shamans even use chanting to reconnect a person's soul with the physical body after a trauma has caused a separation. Dr. Alfred Tomatis, a French ear, eye and nose specialist, affectionately known as Dr. Mozart, noticed that the ear was the first sense organ to develop. According to Tomatis, frequencies in the range of 2,000 to 4,000 cycles per second, those found in the upper range of the human speaking voice, are the most beneficial in healing. These resonances stimulate vibrations in the cranial bones and in the ear muscles, which then revitalize or charge the brain. The repetitive nature of a chant, as well as the actual words that compose it, act in your subconscious to generate results. You may wish to accompany your chanting with drumming, clapping, rattles, and dancing, or playing a musical instrument in order to increase your psychic energy. The vibration of the chanting as well as that of any sound, has a measurable effect on the nervous system. At its height, chanting can even stimulate altered states of awareness, including ecstatic trances. As you know, some people might chant mantras while meditating. A mantra is a group of sacred sounds repeated for spiritual purposes. The mantra not only helps you focus, it lets you become aware of the spirit housed within your body. By recognizing this spirit and your connection with it, you move from the material world into the magical realm. That's why it's often beneficial to meditate prior to doing spell work. You can chant to create circumstances you desire. You can also chant to enhance your link with divine entities or to call upon them for assistance. Chanting is a particularly good way to dispel unwanted energies. The cumulative power of the repeated sounds breaks down obstacles that might otherwise impede a spell's success, just as sound waves can break down obstructions such as kidney stones in the body. Over here you can see I have write down an Ostara chant for you from sacredwicca.com that you can use through in the season of Ostara. Now let's talk about sigils. I hope that you take my sacred geometry cards, also available very soon, in which we talk about symbology and sigils. Sigils are used in therapy and in hypnotherapy to alleviate trauma. Have you ever wanted to write in your own secret language? Guess what? You can. One way to do this is to design sigils to use in your spell work. A sigil is a unique personal symbol you draw in order to produce a specific result. In a sense, a sigil is a way of communicating with yourself via secret code, because no one else can interpret the symbol. Although there are various techniques for designing sigils, the easiest one involves fashioning an image from letters. You can start by writing a word or short affirmation that states your intention. Now delete any letters that are repeated. For example, the word success contains 3 S's and 2 C's, but you only need to put one of each into your sigil. Entwine the remaining letters to form an image. You can use upper and lowercase letters, block or script. Position them right upside down, forward or backward. The end result depicts your objective in a graphic manner that your subconscious understands, although it won't make sense to anyone else. Each time you look at the sigil, you'll instantly recognize its meaning as a deep level, and that reinforces your intention. The following sigil, for example with the words L-O-V-E, the word love, combines them to create an image. So I don't have it over here, but just to let you know, imagine in your mind a big B for love, and then inside the B, a little O and a little E on top of that. You just created a sigil. Of course, you could configure the letters in a zillion different ways according to your own preference, and each design will be uniquely powerful. That's what makes sigils so great. Over here, you can see some of the sigils that have been carried through history, like the sigil wheel, the Archangel Michael's symbol and stamp, the 4 corners. The process of creating the sigil as well as applying it are magic acts. Treat them that way. You may wish to design the sigil as a magical working in itself, and then use the sigil later as a component of another spell. In this way, you both craft and cast and produce 2 effects by doing so. The crafting part, drawing of the sigil, produces an effect on the person who draws it, and it can then be used in casting another spell. For example, the sigil for love could be added to a love talisman. You can incorporate sigils into spells, in myriad ways. For example, you can draw a sigil on a piece of paper and slip it into a mojo or medicine bag. Or you can display a sigil on your altar to remind you of your intention. You can hang one on the door to your home to provide protection. You can carve one on a candle and then burn the candle to activate your objective. You can draw or embroider a sigil on a dream pillow. You can add them to paintings, collages, or any artwork you create. I even seen people making sure, like for example, the Harry Potter sigil, which obviously is created by Hollywood and the author, that I can see people that being used everywhere, from book bags to tattoo on your body. Paint one on glass. Also, you can imprint them in water or wine. Have a jeweler fabricate your sigil as a pendant or pin to wear as a talisman. And get a sigil tattoo on your body, like I said previously. In part 2 of this course, you will find suggestions for using sigils in spells. The truth is that there is no limit to how many sigils you can draw or how many ways you can use them. So give your imagination free rein. Thank you for learning about sigils, just the basics. In the next module, we're going to talk about magic tools and what we call accoutrements. Thank you, and I see you in the next module.